Hello everyone and welcome on in to March Mascot Madness number 5, the final episode, the 9th day of competition between 64 mascots. We are down to the final 4. We have those 2 matchups, the final 4 matchups. We'll play a third place game and we will crown a champion finally. Last week's episode was a little bit short because my mom came to visit and I was like, you know what? Let's take care of ourselves, you know? So we split it in half. Might actually be the way to do it because it could be a little much there towards the end. But we do only have a couple matchups left here in the tournament. If you'd like more, subscribe and ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. Thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed the tournament. Let's get into it. There's not a lot to talk about. The bracket results are set. It's just, did the Let's Go bracket actually pick the correct champion, which would, I believe, would be the first time in history that has happened. We'll find out later today. There it is. That's all that we have to worry about. And like I said, third place game. So let's jump into it. Florida and the UNLV Runnin' Rebels get started today. Number 25 is going to go on the road. You know it, All-American, 10 minutes. We watch it from the press box. Here we go, the Final Four underway. Okay, all right. PlayStation 2 controller. Kind of PlayStation 5 controller in the way. You know what I don't need also? Could be helpful. I don't need 5 controllers on my desk. I guess it's technically... No, there's 5. There's a PS4 controller. It's just a little more out of the way. It's dusty. Dusty. I don't even have the PS4 hooked up. I forget why that's even here. We're tipped and we're ready to roll, and I think I have the game a little bit too loud again this time. There we go. We'll drop it a little bit. It still didn't seem to do enough. I don't know. UNLV has had a very funky road to the finals here. They had that really good game against Arizona. I guess I should talk about how each team got here as we get started. Florida, they are the, I guess, bracket A champion. Where are they? There they are. Florida took out North Carolina State in the first round, 47-44 as that shot is missed. Then they knocked out Arkansas, 44-36. They beat Iowa State 50-41. And then they took out North Carolina in their most lopsided defeat, 55-40. For UNLV, boy, I forgot about that one. UNLV took out Marquette, 51-43. Then they beat Arizona in a really interesting, grinded-out game. They had to make a comeback in that one, and that kind of gave you some hope of, like, maybe this team can do something as they make the first basket of the contest and get the foul. But they knocked out Arizona 57-55. Then they beat Iowa 53-45. Then they held UCLA to 29 points. They only scored 35 on their own, but 35-29 was the final to set up this matchup against the Florida Gators, and we see a defensive foul. UNLV does make the bucket, and they are up 3-0. Spins and blocked, and that has been the UNLV way. They have been a shockingly effective team in this. And, you know, granted, both of these teams have one game where a couple of shots miss, a couple other shots go in for, like, the opposing team. They're not here. And I think you could say that for a lot of teams that aren't Louisville, basically, of like, it's a closer call than you would expect, but a couple of one-possession wins, and especially for UNLV having to come back against Arizona, that's a big swing there. I mean, Florida winning in the first round only by 3 is interesting as well. Not the cleanest pass in the world, but the offensive rebound gets up and is good. The Runnin' Rebels run out to a 5-0 lead. A couple minutes gone here in the first half. Florida looking for some points. They were a pick that I had in the Elite 8, but I didn't push them any further. Kind of regretting that decision now. If Louisville wins, I will retire them. We don't need a foregone conclusion of a champion. I am shocked that was not blocked. That UNLV defender was all over the Gator, but we'll talk more about the Louisville-Kentucky game when it's happening later. But I think we have some interesting matchups today. I think that Louisville-Kentucky matchup is kind of like, could be sneaky good. If I remember correctly what I was talking about, Florida, I think, hit a lot of threes when they were playing North Carolina. And UNLV played with a pretty stifling defense, and it was kind of like, if one team could replicate what they did, they should be able to like knock this other team out fairly easily. But if both of them are a little more even-keeled, like they both drop back a similar percentage, I think we could be in for a fun matchup here, because UNLV had some really stout, tough defense as they go to the free throw line. But that Florida Gators, you kind of just look at that three-point shooting and you go like, I don't trust that. I don't trust that you're going to be able to do that multiple times in a row. But we shall see. Hey, never doubt. Seven to 4. There's another block on the inside. Oh, and they're going to be able to run this out. Easy peasy bucket. Actually, Florida made that pretty close. It was kind of a slow jump. I don't know if you can have a fast jump, but... Ooh, and they force the out of bounds. Okay, Florida. There's a 3 for UNLV. Splashed home. Huge swing. Oh, they get the takeaway. They get the 2. They force it to the out of bounds. They get the 3. They almost get an interception there. Florida, they have to settle themselves down here. It was a, what was it, a 3 to, was that only a 2, by the way? That's a 3. It was what, 7-4? So I guess it was just 2 2s. I have my headphones a little bit low. I now realize. Either way, 4 extra points there takes that 5 to 8. 3 to 8. 3 to 8. What was it, 3? I don't know what's happening. I take 1 week off. I try to take care of myself. That's not a bad foul by Florida. The positioning of that UNLV offensive player was probably going to be able to turn and just dunk the ball. So not the worst. That's a pretty bad foul. Not the worst to just get a reach in, reset, and try to get in better position next time. That's a pretty horrible follow-up to that last play. It was definitely a 3. It was absolutely a 3. I don't know why I was so confused, but I was. Beautiful sunshine day outside. I did go outside, got some fresh air. Bought some Halo trading cards today. Just had a lovely day with the beat. It was very nice. There's a nice foul. Florida can't get the bucket, but I do like that they're driving hard into the paint there. They make the first free throw. Rattles that one and drops. So the lead is 6 with 5:28 to go, 15 to 9. Florida should have a substitution in for the center that has a couple of fouls, so we'll see. We've seen a couple teams, Miami was the big one, that they, the starting center picks up a couple quick personal fouls, they make the substitution, and then the backup comes in, hits a couple quick fouls. And that happened with Miami. I think each of their centers had 3 or 4 fouls by the end of the game. A little cluttered in the paint for both teams. Now they spread it out, open it up a little bit. They're trying everything they can, but just not able to get near the rim. Good defense by Florida. They kept them out at the perimeter. There were never any clear passing lanes. No one bit one way and allowed an easy basket. What they do on the other end. It's a nice little flip up and in for the Florida Gators. Kick to 3. Good. That covered contested 3 is so effective. 18 to 11. Bounce pass inside. Kick out. Little mid-range jumper. I like that little extra pass there. The clutter was going to just be the teammate. UNLV wasn't really going to be able to get a hand up. And a nice basket as we go back and forth. UNLV has been able to maintain this 5 to 7 point lead. So those turnovers have been big. That just rattled around every bit of the rim. Somehow they don't get the tip in. And we're going back to the Florida side. Oh no, the foul and the absolute crushing block. Hey, if you're gonna get called for a foul, make sure they don't make the basket. 18-14, 18-15. And we will see a substitution. New centers for both teams. Almost got it. Trying to work around. That's almost another steal. These are some dangerous passes for UNLV. That Florida defense really turning it up. This is the second time we've seen this shot clock inside 10. Ooh, and good defense for UNLV, though. Florida, I think, has done a good job making sure that they're not relying on the three-point shot. They've been driving the basket nicely. They've been converting their free throws. But they've had some bad turnovers. That is such a key for UNLV in this game. You look at, okay, Florida, they've stopped us a couple of times now. They get a turnover one of those times. The shot clock drains for 25-plus seconds. We foul them on the other end. They get free throws. They've taken the 7-point lead down to 3. That is an excellent time for that specific play. Here's a turnover, a fast break, easy points. Up over the outstretched arm of the defender, high off the glass. Nice play by Florida. One of the weirder things is, so, you know, March Madness is still going on. All 4 number 1 seeds still in the tournament. It's a 1v2 for 3 of them, and then the lowest seed is Texas Tech at 3, I want to say. That was a horrible pass. The Gator was right in the way, and they're going to run it out on the other end. Jammed home. Lead down to 1. 20-19. Good one here in the Final Four. Under 2 to go. I did not realize that they did Thursday, Friday games for the Sweet 16 in the tournament. Maybe it's because they're on later. Wow, what a replay. Thanks, game. 22-19 on the nice play. What do we have? Do we have any scores? Anything? Ooh, 78-77, Florida over Texas Tech. Alabama and Duke. We're going to tip off here in just a little bit. There's a nice jam home for UNLV. They have had so many of these runouts here in the first half, and that's what they need. They take that 3-point lead, stretch it to 5. They take a 1-point lead, stretch it to 5. A couple of very well-timed turnovers or takeaways, and they are able to put Florida back where they were. Drives inside. High floater is up and good. 60 seconds to go. 24-21. Entertaining, great back and forth first half here. Texas Tech with a personal foul. There's a 3 for UNLV. Buries it. 27-21 doubles that lead from 3 to 6. 4 to 6 is not a doubled number, Sean. Let's get it together. And a backcourt violation. That's huge. That's going to give UNLV an extra possession here. This might be the one time where the Florida defense might want to kind of give up something not easy, but maybe just try and make this a quick possession as UNLV makes that before I even have an opportunity to finish my sentence. Florida's gotten close 2 or 3 times now, and then they have just fallen apart at the worst times. There it is. Easy bounce pass inside. UNLV, if they go quickly, they can get something going. Clock is ticking here. 8, 7, stolen. Center foul. No good on the shots. Bad time for a UNLV mistake. 5.8 to go. They might take a timeout to sub their player. Or actually just make a substitution because of the made free throw. But that's a big swing. That's a big aggressive play. Kick it to the number 22. Up and off the front iron. Florida wasn't going to be able to get that basket. Didn't matter. Wow. So a kind of wild first half comes to a close, and it is 29-25. Really bad turnover there at the end for UNLV. Kind of rewarded because Florida had, there's a big three to start us off in the second half. Florida had a bad turnover right there at the end of the first half as well, so kind of 1 for 1, and I believe they each scored 2 points off those. Bounce pass inside, blocked by UNLV, recovered. Tried to fight through some traffic, no foul called. And a dangerous one of those turnaround jump passes. So it's just a lot going on there. So we have Florida, Mascot Florida, and real Florida playing right now, which I did not intend. And also didn't even make the connection that we were watching Florida and Florida. Trying to drive inside. This Florida defense has been really strong at times. UNLV has had their best opportunities on fast breaks. But when Florida's able to set up in the half court, they've had a lot of success holding this UNLV team to long possessions. 80-77, Florida leads over Texas Tech. They're playing the other, like, 19 or 1850s oil baron villain. Oh, bounce pass inside. Easy bucket for UNLV. And I'll stop giving you updates on a game that is most likely over. 34-27, UNLV leads here, a minute and change gone. I have my chair in a bad spot, apparently, because it keeps rotating on me. If I sit like that, does that help? It likes to swing to the left for some reason. Now do you need to swing to the right? What's happening? Okay, we're good. There's a spot on this chair where it always just wants to swivel to the left. And it's very annoying. Shouldn't be, but... So 7 seconds on the possession, or on the shot clock, excuse me. Nice block on the outside. Oh, needed to just kind of get out and run. But good defense by Florida. Another nice defensive stand by UNLV. They don't give up those easy baskets. There's a nice, ooh boy, kind of a wild looking shot, but hey, I think he'll take it. I think it's still swinging to the left. I can't tell. I can't tell. Florida leaves it short yet again, and we're going the other way. UNLV up by 9. Two passes inside center. Wasn't a great block, but it was a block. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Okay, basket and the foul. Florida with an opportunity for a three-point play. (36-30). UNLV tries to drive inside, kicks back out. It's kind of spun into a double team there. We're kind of stuck here. This is not good. Oh, wow. What a terrible situation. What a terrible time for that animation to take place for UNLV. We don't often see that. Usually when it gets trapped like that, it typically results in a shot, and I would say 99% of the time. Usually that double, like, the trap kicks in a little bit sooner, and you can start to see them lose the ball a little bit quicker, but... player stops. Okay, UNLV going the other way. That's UNLV right there. You can feel it. You get a sense that Florida's starting to try and make a comeback, and then bang. It's a fast break the other way. Florida a little close to a backcourt violation. Left that one short. Left that one short. Couple of chances for Florida where UNLV's defense was out of position. Backs it down. Be careful near that baseline. Good kick out. The three raises, fires. No good, but the putback jam is great. Slammed home. +2 UNLV. 17 for 27 and 12 for 23 from the Gators. This is where things start to get a little bit of that separation where UNLV's defense hasn't deteriorated or hasn't dropped down the same level that Florida's three-point shooting. Their three-point shooting was incredible against North Carolina. Oh my goodness, what a brutal animation for the Florida Gators. They still come away with 2 points, so that's a positive for them. 10-point lead down to 8 points. There's a three for UNLV, left it off the near side. Under 5 to go. We'll have to keep track of the third place game on our own because I didn't see where to check mark it. There have been some in the past. Whatever. Florida misses a free throw. Pretty rare for both teams to miss free throws. Or either team, I should say. Does go 1 for 2 and cuts it to a touchdown. 42-35, very football score. Two quick passes. Well, I guess that first pass wasn't very quick. It was just kind of a little bit of air under it. We're going for that second quick pass inside. There's a long pass through some traffic. Drives in, blocked. Oh my goodness. You think one player is going to get the block and then no. Hook shot on the other end is good. Oh, there it is. They're running it high screen, backdoor pass. Up and in. Florida's not out of it. They have to be more consistent on the offensive side. I know that's an easy thing to say, and it's that very, excuse me, it's easier said than done. As we see a foul on the Florida defense. And missed free throw. But Florida has done a good job at times at making a comeback. They've made some swings, they've cut the lead down to 1 at one point when it was at 6 or 7. But once they get it to 3, once they get it to 1, then they make 2 really bad turnovers right on cue. And they allow UNLV to push that lead right back out. Blocked by Florida, so a good defensive stand there to make sure that the kind of bonehead turnover doesn't turn into anything worse. Okay, well, just kidding. Oh, well, Florida will get the ball back, so kind of a nice little turn of events for Florida. A couple of bounces of luck their way. There's a big 3, lead down to 5. Three minutes to go here in game number 1 of the Final Four. Turnovers, 8 for UNLV, 7 for Florida. That's a nice block inside. There's that good Florida defense. They've been stout at times. It's just been the offense that's made bad decisions. I wouldn't qualify that as a bad decision. There were a couple of defenders in the way, but we've seen far worse shots, I guess, would be more the point. And there you go. It's back the other way. It's a key UNLV block. It's back the other way, and it's fairly easy points on the other end. Lead is now 7. Bounce pass inside. Looking for the corner. Pulls it down, float. Nice rotation by the defense. Looked like they were out of position. Missed They dove over the ball. They stripped the ball from the Gator, jumped over the ball, and then the Gators got 2 points. Interesting aggression there from UNLV. I'll slow it down once they break the half court. Down to 2 minutes to go. That's off the side of the backboard. UNLV got to slow things down a little bit. That is a huge miss for Florida, but a bigger offensive rebound and nice slam there. Florida hustle points, 4 second chance, 4 fast break points. This is where UNLV's been good. They've let Florida get kind of close there, but they've been able to extend these leads back out. They obviously have the advantage here as we get towards a minute, but it is only 1 possession. There's a 3. That is a foul beyond the arc. 3 free throws coming for the UNLV running Rebels. First free throw drops. Second free throw drops. And all 3 of them go in the lead from 3 to 6. Go, go. 50 to 44, 85 seconds to go. Oh, there's the block. I mean, they definitely got the foul and dangerously close to a turnover there, but there's the block that you're looking for if you're a UNLV fan. Oh, didn't go for the 3. Trying to get that double team steal going. They're rotating around to try to get that double team. They can see him chasing. Nice steal. That's a really timely steal because I think once the game gets to about 45 seconds, which is right now, then Florida's going to start trying to steal or start to foul. And that's so frustrating because they do a good job running the clock down, running the shot clock down. They're going to force UNLV into a bad shot, and then they just foul and bail them out. Instead, a nice interception by the center, but they can't convert on the other end. UNLV should be able to just free throw shoot their way to victory. Free throws are up and good. The lead is now 8. Florida just could not muster the consistency that they needed to try and get back in. I mean, they did get back to this game several times, but they just could not get over the hump. I don't know if Florida ever led in this game. They were down 5-0. They were down 7-4. They were down 1 after it was kind of like 14-9 or something like that. Yeah, Florida may have never led in this game. It might not have even been tied at any point. What a weird game. It was a good one though. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad because Florida, you feel like, and I said this about North Carolina in the last round, where like Florida, you believe they can make a run. North Carolina, you believed that they could make a run. They just didn't. I think it's easier to say that Florida would make a run in this game than North Carolina, especially late stages. Like at this point in the game was well put away between Florida and North Carolina, but UNLV and you have like that inkling, like they can put a couple things together, but UNLV just too good. They were too dominant inside. They really came up with timely block after timely block throughout the game. I talked about it throughout the whole thing where you're looking at like they're cutting leads down, multiple possession leads down to 1 possession. 3 down to 1, 4 down to 1. But they just couldn't get over the hump, and there's maybe the most brutal end you could have. They finally get the missed free throw, and it's put back anyway. 56-48, 13.9 in Florida for some reason still thinks they're in this game. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No. Jeez Louise. The 3 is no good. Florida slams it home. Can't trade 2s for 2s, though. So it'll look a little a little better. 56-50. UNLV is going to be playing for a championship. And we will see the Florida Gators again in the third place game. Wow. I'm kind of curious because it seemed like the free throws are actually pretty solid in this game. 12 for 14 and 10 for 11. Okay. It's a little more what you'd like to see. But UNLV fights and survives yet again, and they await the winner of Louisville and Kentucky. Has UNLV played on the road in this? Yes, they did. They played in UCLA. They played in Iowa. Oops. All right. Game modes. Louisville, Kentucky. They play, where does Kentucky plays in Lexington, I think? Yeah, Lexington. But they are next to each other. I'm sure they are some form of rivals, or at least rivals that want to pretend that they are rivals. But here we go. This is an interesting game because Louisville and Kentucky both play full court defense. Nobody plays it quite like Louisville. They have a full court press that is full on. That is what we are doing. We are going to do that unless we are up by double digits. But UK's put some pressure in the backcourt as well. This is a top 15 matchup, so that's interesting. So we'll see what they can do. Louisville has only lost twice ever. The putback, nice tip in there as Kentucky goes up 2-0. Grab a score update real quick. Oh, Kentucky forces a backcourt violation. Florida moves on 84-79. And the next game will start in about 20 minutes. There's a three for Kentucky. No good. Bounce pass inside. Louisville gets it up and in. And there's the steal. There's Louisville basketball. Bad pass by Kentucky, and just like that, it's 2-0. Nope, just kidding. It's 4-2. If you can take care of the basketball, I like the aggression he ran out of bounds. Oh, he ran out of bounds. Just an absolute moron play. Almost stolen away by Kentucky. Almost stolen away again by Kentucky. This Kentucky defense looking good. Louisville's trying to drive, spins into a double team. Shot's got to get up. It's a foul. Oh, no. 34 seconds off the shot clock, and you foul on the shot at the buzzer. No. 6-0 run by Louisville. They lead by 4. 8-12 to go here in our second Final Four matchup. Third place will be Florida and blank. There's the steal. Probably Florida and Kentucky, I'd imagine. I don't know what it is that the computer just cannot figure out. We have seen, I mean, every other top 25 team that we have in this game is lost. I mean, we're down to, I don't know what Florida was ranked. We have the 9th ranked Wildcats, the 14th ranked Louisville Cardinals. There's the 2 to cut the lead down to 2. Needed a half step on that, but you can see Kentucky at least trying the Louisville defense. It just doesn't work that well because they're not as good at it. Passes inside. Nice block. Can't come up with the loose ball. That's the third time now. They've almost had a couple of steals. There's a bad foul again by Kentucky. Leaves the front end of the 2 free throws short. Second free throw is good, so 7-4. They rip it up the floor. See what they can do offensively here. It's been a bit of a slow-paced game. They almost had the 3, but instead it's blocked. They're kicking it back the other way. That's a huge difference in this game already. It's been that block on the perimeter was like that loose ball was collected inbounds versus Kentucky, who's had their hands on the ball a couple of times and just have not been able to keep it with them. Into the double team, it's turnover short, but no. Close range shot is short, I should say. 9-4. That was just a clean steal. That was an absolutely beautiful steal. There's a nice block. Oh, and there it is. There's your difference. Oh my goodness, it's blocked and Louisville still gets a second shot at it. Nice kick out, blocked again, out of bounds. It'll stay Kentucky ball. There's a foul on the shot, so Kentucky will go to the line to shoot 2. First free throw is good. Left the second one a little bit short. I'm kind of surprised Kentucky wasn't able to get the rebound there. There's a big block and a good job by Kentucky to hold them to no points on that. Three, big splash, and that will cut the lead down to 1. All right, so Kentucky working with a little backcourt pressure, which is very easy to beat there. However, that half-court trap works, and they get the steal. They're off the other way, trying to run out. Oh, it's... I don't even know what's happening down there. That's flipped up. Circus shot's no good, Kentucky. Even when it's easy, it's hard. Oh, my goodness. They got the steal. Good job by Louisville to get back and force a very difficult shot. Those tip-ins have not been falling for the Louisville Cardinals. Neither team... Louisville is not able to pull away, and Kentucky is not able to take advantage of some of these misses. That's what they need. You have to make shots on your end to set up your defense, and you have to take advantage when they miss. That's blocked. That's a terrible pass inside. And it remains 9-8. I did not talk about how both of these teams got here. Foul. It was a great time to do that. Louisville beat Missouri 46-38. They took out Tennessee 44-38. They beat Syracuse 47-32 and Temple 53-41. For Kentucky, as the first free throw is missed. Kentucky Wildcats beat Maryland 48-39. 2 free throws missed. They still can't get the putback. They still can't get the putback. They get the putback. Kentucky is awful inside. It's unbelievable that they got 3 shots off a missed free throw. Louisville just went 0 for 2 from the free throw line and still came away with 2 points. It is infuriating. The ball gets poked away again. Kentucky, like I said, they took out Maryland 48-39. They beat California 55-47, excuse me. There's a steal. Duke, they beat by 4, 54-50. Then they beat Stanford by 9, 42-33. Nice block on the inside. They still can't come up with a loose ball to save their lives. that's how they meet the Louisville Cardinals in the Final Four. Kentucky is doing a good job to get the hand on the ball, and they can't come up with the loose ball. It's the most annoying thing. There's a nice shot from Louisville. Trading twos to put that lead back out to 3. It is 13-10 with about 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Kentucky trying to break through the defense. They do. It's going to be interesting to see if Kentucky can continue to do that. That shot is flipped up and left well short there. I guess well short's not a fair statement, but yeah, it wasn't going in is really the point that I was trying to make. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just all of it was the worst possible scenario for Kentucky. So we will see a substitution here at 16-10. Oh my God. The Louisville Cardinals are the greatest team in the history of mankind. Goodness gracious. Okay, basket and the foul. I like the drive there. The kind of fake pass gave them just enough room to wiggle through. Drive to the basket, and they can't come up with the free throw. I hate the Kentucky Wildcats. What is happening? How do you make the easy look so difficult? That is just porous defense. That's a great example of why there was a foul in the last game where I talked about, like, oh, you know what, that foul wasn't too bad because the defender was completely out of position. Did end up benefiting them in any way, but a little reach in to try to get reset. 21-12, and Louisville is starting to do Louisville things. It's going to be a very interesting matchup if they're playing UNLV. If UNLV can make sure that they get through their defense, because they really thrive on the blocks, timely blocks specifically. Or we could just have UNLV, or Louisville, run away with it. I have a hard time believing that UNLV would run away with it. It was one of those interesting things, again, talking about that Florida game again, just Florida would get runs every once in a while. They were short runs. They weren't able to capitalize. Louisville can do that. Louisville can get on a run, and they can capitalize on that. It's not a 4-point run or a 6-point run that ends with a turnover. It's a 14-point run that you get lucky that you finally beat. Another foul inside. Kentucky looks like they don't look like a team that's ever played basketball before. They look confused and befuddled by everything that is before them. We are under a minute to go. It is an 11-point lead. Kentucky has been held to 12 points. Nope. It just wasn't going to happen. See if they want to hold for the final shot here. I kind of doubt it. The game doesn't really like doing that if it doesn't have to. Ooh, off the glass, no good. Louisville, of all the teams that don't need the 98% full court three-pointer at the end of a half, Louisville's the team that doesn't need that, and they would be the team that gets it. Okay, Kentucky provides enough of a contesting there. Forces the miss. There's a three for the Kentucky Wildcats, a little long. Louisville leads 23-12 heading into half. Not a great half, really either way. Defensive foul called there. Louisville started to pull away there at the end of the first half. Kentucky was pretty bad throughout it. But Louisville ends up in a point spot where you'd go like, okay, fine. No, they didn't kick to the Wildcat at the corner, which was a little surprising. There they kick to him, and there he makes the shot. First points of the half go to the Kentucky Wildcats. They cut the lead down to 8. They just aren't as committed as to the full court pressure, and they just cannot come up with those steals. That has been a huge problem for Kentucky all game long. Getting the hands on the ball, but it just bounces into Louisville's hands. There's another missed shot. Louisville's looked vulnerable at times throughout this tournament. I guess they would have won in this game previously, but there's a little 2. Good run for Kentucky, 5-0 to cut the lead to 6. They need a little bit more pressure. That's the difference between the two teams. Louisville comes up and pressures you. Kentucky just kind of sits and goes like, well, I guess you could pass out of this if you'd like. The defensive rebounding has been better already. We have not seen, I don't think we've seen an offensive rebound for Louisville. Louisville had so many second chance opportunities, sometimes even third chance opportunities. There's a huge offensive rebound, but maybe a bigger block. It'll stay with Kentucky. Just kidding, it's going to Louisville. As Louisville drives in and makes the basket, so lead pushed out to 8. Kick to the corner. Thought they were going to try the 3, but bounce pass inside. Flipped up and good. So a good shot there for Kentucky. It's 25-19. Louisville can't hit the jump shot. These are the big moments for the Kentucky Wildcats. Can they chip away at this lead? You got to do what UNLV did against Arizona. Just work inside, force some misses. There's a nice shot. Didn't hear the 3 in my headphones. And it was indeed just a 2. 25-21. Great start to the second half here. I was already penciling Louisville into the championship game. That was a huge, okay, that's what they've needed. Spin move the other way. Nice jam home, and it's a, 8-2 run? 11-2 scoring run. 25-23. Real aggressive by Louisville. It's a foul. Second personal foul on the center. Second team foul here in the second half. Louisville's first free throw is up and good. (27-23) now. Kind of a weirdly dangerous inbound pass. There's the difference. There's the turn. Kentucky cannot make those mistakes. Okay. Yeah, that's about how that would work. We saw a similar spot on the floor lead to a turnover, but that time it's Louisville making the shot, and that's usually how that goes. I don't even know if usually is the right word. I mean, that is 99% of the time. So Kentucky makes a mistake that costs them a couple of points, and love the open look at the basket there. 29-25. Nice steal off the glass and good. Huge 4-point swing. That erases that stupid glitch. It is frustrating because it feels so conclusive. They almost steal the inbound pass again. We need to bookmark that in our brains. Let's keep that in the back of our heads as we work our way through this game. There are a lot of throw-in opportunities depending on the number of fouls that a team has when they're down 2 points, let's say, late in the game. Can Kentucky turn one of those into a turnover, a takeaway? They got their hands on 2 of them on the baseline. Tried the steal animation but couldn't get it. Under 5 to go, low-scoring game. It's been a huge second half for the Kentucky Wildcats. Louisville has been very, very slow, but if they can do what UNLV did against Florida, just the key stop, the key block, they should be okay. I'm going to try and cut through a couple of defenders instead. Gets locked up. Good job to slow it down. You'd hate to see them shoot into a bad shot and then it's going the other way quickly. They're running the shot for the 3. The 3 is up. The 3 splashed home, and it's a 1-point game. Kentucky was, 23-12 at the end of the first half? Now 31-30, yet another paw on the ball. They come up with it. Oh, they had to go forward, but actually this is okay. It's not great. Kicks to the corner. Trying to find something. Up, blocked. Louisville stepped out of bounds. They got a hold of the ball, but on the baseline. Right under the basket. Off the rim. No good. Second shot. Good. Kentucky leads. Kentucky leads 32-31, everyone. Look out. Might we have a new champion? Don't get excited. Don't have hopes. Don't have dreams. Oh, what a block! Still Louisville ball. Nobody really went for it there. But this is what you're looking for. If you're Kentucky, they're doing what they need to do. Louisville's made a few shots here and there. They have 8 points in this half. But because they can't set up their defense, it doesn't allow them to create the turnovers. That shot's no good. So instead of a full court press, you get this easy to break, get into your half, set up your offense, and go. Louisville thrives. They survive. They have to have it. Got a kick out there. No, that was a bad shot. Don't love that there. It was a player wide open for 3, and you have 3 defenders on you. There's someone bound to be open. 2 quick passes inside, circus shot, no good, but the foul puts Louisville on the line for 2. Third personal, 4th team foul here. As Louisville looks to take the lead from the line. First shot is good. Second shot, no good. Big recovery and kind of a bad timeout. I know that they're using it for a substitution, but like against this team, if you take a timeout, that gives them an extra opportunity to set up. Tries to spin away from the pressure. Good job to slice and dice. Goes with the spin move. Funky under the rim there. Whoop. Off the glass and good. 34-32 Kentucky. 2:40 to go here. Second half action. Good, the center kind of handling the ball up the floor. I don't think you'll love that. 2 quick passes inside. Another foul. Third personal. I might have to make another substitution. 2:24. Little inconsistent. 1 for 2. They do make a substitution. Fires it up the floor. Spin move. Beat the defense through the 2 defenders' first personal foul on the center. That's their first team foul here in the second half. I think that's an okay foul. Even if they make both of them, you at least make them earn it from the stripe. Kentucky an opportunity to push just to a 3-point lead. They do, 36-33. 2:18 to go. Louisville not in a position we see very frequently on the ropes. We do usually see them this deep in the tournament, though. And we will watch them play Florida in the third place game should they lose. That's a huge steal. That is a ginormous steal. Kentucky got so close to what was probably an over and back. A backcourt violation. There's the kick. There's the 3. It's no good. The offensive rebound. Flipped up. It's good. 5-point lead, Kentucky. I know that I should be an impartial commentator. And I know that Let's Go made the smart pick and picked Louisville. But for the love of God, they've won 4 in a row. Trying to drive inside. Foul. No basket. No good. First personal foul. The Kentucky Wildcats are 1 foul away from a bonus. So that's not good for them. Louisville, 2 for 2 from the line. 38-35. That was a good pass back. It kind of looked like they were drifting toward the boundary. Stop dribbling so close to the half-court line. Please. That's a bad shot. Timeout, Louisville. It's good defense by Louisville. They forced them into. They made it look like there was going to be a nice open shot deep in the paint, but a good rotation and recovery to force a bad miss. It's a huge block, but they just can't come up with the loose ball. That's been a storyline all game long. There's a steal. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Don't do this. No, please, dear God, no. Game. Thank you. Okay. The one thing that the game is good about is once it gets kind of close at times, it does kind of force the action. That is a circus shot that's up and good. Louisville is down by 5. Inside of a minute, we have 50.3 seconds to go. Again, I understand. I'm supposed to be an impartial commentator. But when you watch Louisville play 39 games a tournament, it's annoying. They were 32-2 coming into this tournament. That is 34 commentated games of Louisville basketball. They missed the shot. Kentucky can't get the rebound. They missed the shot again. Kentucky, I was riding Louisville into the finals in the first half when it was 23-12. Louisville has put up a kind of hidden, I guess you would say low-key, like a pretty bad second half here. And they have looked mortal at times in this tournament. We've seen far better Louisville runs. Don't love that sentence. Oh, you can't do that, Kentucky. Kentucky, please. Kentucky, please. It is 40-35. They still need some threes. I don't know that Louisville's the most adept at three-pointers, but we'll see what they do. We'll also see if this game kind of gives us like a good finish. That one's no good. Because at times, especially because that's where the shot clock is like turned off, it doesn't always do a good job of trying to make sure that the teams get multiple possessions. Kentucky misses the second free throw. Louisville takes a timeout. It's a 6-point game with 20 seconds even. The best news is that the bracket challenge standings are already set. This game didn't mean anything. It was just basically like, how could we get a first ever correct champion pick? We cannot. Louisville will still play in the third place game, which will be coming up right now. But they will fall 41-35. I have to rub my eyes. I got to pinch myself that I'm not dreaming, that we have a different champion. We'll have a brand new champion. Kentucky moves on. An unbelievable second half. They put up nearly 30 points in the second half. Let's take a look at some differences here. 23 points. It was 23 to 12. They go 12 for 18 from the floor, Kentucky does. They hold Louisville to 3 for 15. My goodness. They're 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Kentucky is 2 for 3. The free throws, meh, they do benefit Louisville. You look at 6 points from the line. They have half their points from the free throw line, and that's what you have to do. You look at that number, 3 for 15. That means that only 3 times they were able to set up their defense for that potential steal, that turnover. It was 2-0 Kentucky, and then very quickly in 2 quick possessions, score, steal, score, 4-2 Louisville. They got out to a 23-12 lead. No assists. That is wild. Wow. They didn't make Louisville did not make a 3-point field goal. That is interesting. But Goliath has fallen, and they will play Florida in our 3rd place game. UNLV, Kentucky. Nobody had that. And both those teams, I think it's going to be an interesting championship game because I think both those teams can play slow, grinded out games. So UNLV, no, Florida. Yeah, Florida, Louisville, that's fine. And just make sure we keep it the same. Florida take it on Louisville. Louisville will be at home. It is a top 25 matchup. This is your 3rd place game, and instead of 10, we'll just go 5. Just to keep it moving. This does separate, 3rd place from 4th place. We'll do a little 5-minute half game here. Oop. Not my thing. Oh boy. Beep's on fire sending Instagram reels for me to watch. 5 minutes per half for each, or for 3rd place. Florida opens up with a wide open 3, but they can't get it. Louisville with the rebound. Fires it forward. Louisville, even when they have lost, they lost and won the 3rd place game. The only other time that they got this far and did not win the tournament. One other time, I think they've never made it less than the Elite 8. 2-0 Louisville. As Florida gets aggressive, I like the bounce pass if they could try to lead it a little bit more. Louisville gets a very generous offensive foul call. Florida tries to get the loose ball, but it's floated inside. Nice jam home for the Louisville Cardinals. I think I might still retire the Louisville Cardinals after this one. They're beatable, I guess, but they've only ever lost 3 times. They lost to Alabama in the Elite 8 in the very first tournament, and then they won 3rd place in the next one, and then they won the following 4. They are now 30... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 36 and 3 all time. They have played, this is their 40th game. Which is just wild to think about. I'll get some more stats and more statistics for next year. Maybe do like a countdown of the best teams so you have a little more information. I do want it to be a little bit more of a crapshoot, but it does not seem to be. I mean, when you watch USA playing the worst half of basketball we've ever seen. Yikes. 4-3, Louisville, easy buckets. Pushes that lead out. 6-3. Florida getting very aggressive with pushing the ball up the floor. Can be a little bit dangerous at times, but I do like their aggression. There's a 3. They get it to splash home and tie the game up. three-point. There's the first three that we've seen Louisville make in a while. They look like, excuse me, it looked like they wanted to go for that bounce pass, but they couldn't get it figured out. Long range two, rattles and drops off. Foul on the shot, it's no good. So Florida will go to the line to shoot two. First one is up, first one is good. 9-8. 2:23 to go here in the first half of action. Defensive foul on Florida. First one's good. Second free throw is good. It's 11-8 now. Florida real loosey-goosey with that ball. They had like one tip pass and it just kind of became hot potato. Which leads to an errant pass and a turnover, and as we know, you cannot really give Louisville extra possessions. Burns the Florida Gators right there, and it's quickly 13-8. That's just an awful shot. Wide open Gator in the corner looking for the three, but just decided I'm going to go for the shot now. It doesn't make any sense. It's a nice bucket. Nice block from beyond the arc, and Florida comes away with the ball. Shoots through a couple of defenders. They missed 4 consecutive field goals. Shooting 25% from the floor. But Louisville, even in, I don't know how that wasn't a backcourt violation. We've seen way more ticky-tack backcourts than that. Hook shot is up. It's no good. 15 points and a 5.5 isn't too terrible, considering they had 23, in the full-time game. That's just a really nice pass. The Florida defense was not ready for that. And it pushes out to a touchdown lead, and there's the steal. Deep two is no good. Florida, the full court. They made it? Oh my goodness. 17-13 at the half. I think that's the first time we've ever seen that. Done how many games of this? Oh my goodness. A full court 3 makes it a 4-point game heading into the break. 17-13, but Louisville's on the line quickly here. 4:57, 3 seconds. They get the offensive rebound. They're going right back to the line. Oh, Florida, it's disgusting. Left that one short. The tip in is good, and it's 21-13. So Louisville not looking good from the free throw line, but they still get the offensive rebound. Hold on. Let's take a quick look at some stats. Just while it's the first 12 seconds of the second half. It's 4-0. The Gators have fouled twice, and there are 2 Louisville rebounds. They are 2 for 4 from the line, yet they have made up those points by being 1,000% from the 2 offensive rebounds. Come on, Florida. Get it together. 12 seconds in, they get a 4-point swing, 2 fouls, 2 missed free throws. Doesn't matter. The points all wash out the same. Gross. I think that this really shows how bad that Kentucky first half was. Florida ended up with 13 points. Granted, it was, kind of a miracle 3 there at the end, but even if you just give them 10, Kentucky had 5 more minutes and still only mustered 2 more points. That, I think, speaks to how poorly Kentucky played in the first half of the last game, but how well they played in the second half, that they were able to put up 29 in the second half. Flipped up and good. 23-15. Louisville only came away with 35 points in that last game. There's a possibility they could beat that in this one, especially if they get fouled a bunch toward the end. They haven't, they scored mid-40s, 53, and I think their losses have been when they scored like under 40, because I don't know if it was a typo that I made, but the one that they lost to Alabama in the very first March Mascot Madness, Louisville only scored like 20-something points, which seems weird. I have to go find that footage and take a look at it. I know it's on YouTube or whatever, but I have to go take a look at it. Florida takes the shot clock nearly all the way down. They come away with 2. They are now down 8 with a little over 3 minutes to go. Sometimes my brain is a little faster than my mouth. Oh, wow. Really interesting shot selection there by Louisville. They do come away with the point, so I think it's easier to go, okay, that's fine. But we've seen teams do that where it's a clear 3, they take a couple steps in, that time allows the defenders to collapse on them, and then it's a bad block. That time doesn't really seem to be much of a problem for Louisville. As they get a turnover, turn it into points on the other end, that's Louisville basketball. And Kentucky just did not do that. They didn't. They just, God, it's mind-blowing. There's a 3, no good. But when you hold Louisville to 3 for 15 from the floor, not allowing Louisville to set up their defense, take those turnovers, turn them into points, this is what you get. A little more the Louisville that we're used to seeing, up big, keeping the pressure on and pushing. There's a big 3 for Louisville, wide open. Florida just did not close out. A couple of defenders looked like they were right there, but nope. There's a nice shot by Florida to cut the lead down to 10. It's going to take a lot for them to get back into this game. They have not looked good. They need Louisville now to not do that. They needed a turnover, takeaway of some kind there. They'll take a timeout here because they are still technically in the game, but it's 12 points with how badly they're playing, considering that they've only scored 9 points in this half. And 3 of their points are a miracle, real deep court shot. Flipped up and good. Louisville starting to run away with this one as they have nearly... No, they have. They have eclipsed their total against Kentucky in half a game. Now, it's going to be real tough for them to come up with 36 points in one single half, but still. 36 points in a half is rare. Duke did it. They put up a 40 spot once. I think we'll see them run the clock out here. 14-point victory. I will make a little note of it. Where's mine? Where is it? Where's my notepad? There it is. We'll go. So 39-22 our score with about 20 seconds to go. Extra glad now that it's a 17-point deficit. Really glad that I did the 5-minute halves. Louisville is kind of the reason that you would do a 5-minute halves, because once they get into once they get in control of a game, it kind of gets boring. And that will be your final. So Louisville is your third place finisher. The Gators didn't really put up much of a fight. They shot. I mean, this was awful. 13 in the first half, 9 in the second, 22 and 17. I mean, my goodness. 8 for 8. 1 for 1. Oh my God. Oh. Pardon me. Louisville did to Florida what Kentucky did to Louisville. They shot 100% from the field in the second half. That is ridiculous. Let's hope we have a good one here in our grand finale. It is the Kentucky Wildcats. They will be at home taking on the UNLV Runnin' Rebels. JK. Kentucky Wildcats. UNLV Runnin' Rebels. Who wins March Mascot Madness number 5 right here on youtube.com/Seannosaurus Rex. Let's find out right now as we get set. Oh, make sure that we push this out to 10. From the press box, All-American difficulty. Let's go to Lexington, Kentucky for game number 64. It was 7 8-game parts and 2 4-game parts. And we will finally crown a champion right here, right now. Thank you all again so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the tournament. If you did, give the videos a thumbs up. If you want more, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. We are underway from Lexington. I sneezed, and now I need to blow my nose. Bad start for me. And while it was a bad start for me, it was a good start for Kentucky, who gets off to a 3-0 lead. They do get the block on the inside, but they can't come up with it. They come up with that loose ball. And they go for the 3 again, and it's quickly 6-0 Kentucky. UNLV has survived and thrived on timely blocks. It'll be interesting to see if Kentucky just proves to be a little bit too much for them. It'll also be interesting to see if UNLV has trouble with this full court defense, because it's not nearly as severe as Louisville's as we have seen previously. So it's like, well, if they struggle with this, then it wouldn't have been great the other way. That would have been even worse. UNLV puts themselves on the board. A minute and 20 gone here, 6-2. That's what you're looking for if you're UNLV. You want to come up with that loose ball, but I think you'll take the block regardless. Into the corner, bounce pass. Flipped up, rattles around, and falls off the rim. No basket. Good break for UNLV. Nice kick back. Big three up, and it's good. 5-0 run. It's a big 6-0 run for Kentucky to get out to a good start. A fast start. Couple of threes. UNLV, a good job. Get a block. Force a miss. Get some points on the other end. Now that you were going to get blown out. I mean, you would look at it and go, well, Sean, you're not going to get blown out in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game. Go watch the Louisville-Syracuse game. Go watch that and tell me you can't get blown out in the first 3 minutes of a game. Because you can. We've seen it. Nice jam home. I think that's good for UNLV. Ideally, I think you want to be in the lead for most of the game. Sure, whatever. But if you can match what they are doing, you'll eventually be able to take advantage. You'll get a miss. They'll get a miss. You'll get a make. Can't make it that easy for them on that end, though. Fortunately, we haven't seen a lot of baseline bandit steals on that end where they throw in the ball. Because they like to throw it in and throw it right back. And it always looks like they are right on that line. There's a nice block for Kentucky. They're going to get out and run. A couple of UNLV defenders in the way will slow things down a little bit. And a defensive foul. First personal foul. Little reach in there. There's a nice steal. Okay. Throwing it forward. I like the aggression. Fighting through some contact. No whistle. The shot was just kind of left up in the air. Kicked outside, working it around, trying to set things up. Pass, driving, hook shot, in 12-7. UNLV getting a little aggressive with that, and now they're driving to the basket. Got away with one there. I felt like it was going to be the Kentucky, center just coming screaming in, looking for that block, but missed it. And a good block on the other side. Shot is up, but no good. Stolen away. Nice. Tried to kick out for 3. 2 UNLV players go out of bounds trying to get the ball, but neither can come up with it. There it is. There's that block inside. It's a poor shot selection by Kentucky. There's got to be someone open in that scenario. Good job by UNLV to fight through the defense on the other side. Fight through the contact, I should say, on the other side. Get that free throw up. Get that free throw good. And Kentucky on the other end slams it home. Push that lead back out to 3. UNLV, though, still doing a good job. They're matching, for the most part, what Kentucky is trying to do. It's good for them as they are trying to just, that's not what you want. But you still have 3 defenders in that area, so I think it kind of turns into a good spot. It was almost a really good scenario for the block or the turnover, but 5 more shots for Kentucky are really helping them out here. Is it 16-11, under 5 to go? Tipped. See if anybody, the Wildcat was the first one to dive. Whoever is the first player to dive in that scenario loses that battle because it just doesn't carry them that far. Fadeaway 2 drops. 16-13. 2 quick passes inside, swishes through the defense. UNLV has been caught out of position a lot down by the basket. Kentucky's done a very good job of being able to get themselves into a position where just one simple move gets them around. UNLV does a good job for the most part keeping the offense in front of them, keeping the play in front of them rather, and that forces them into shots where they're able to get blocks. There's yet another fight through some contact. UNLV kind of falling apart here. But we've seen them before. This is a team I think you can look at and think that, hey, they can get something going. They were able to fall down big against Arizona. They slowly chipped away. Is that game on the road or at home? That game was at home, so that could be a difference. But as for now, they do get the 3 free throws from the line. It's 20-15. Kentucky, that's a UNLV block special, but just a nice, like, kind of funky fade one way. Man. Oh, that's a bad time for a turnover. 7 points can quickly turn into 9, could turn into 10. See what the Wildcats want to do. 2 quick passes inside the center. Fouled on the way to the basket. No shot. I guess the shot is up, but no good. Now push this lead out to 8. Now push the lead out to 9. 24-15. There UNLV goes looking for that 3-point specialty play. They get it to go, and it works. Down to 6, 28-14. Beautifully run. You love to see it when they catch it and they shoot it immediately. Oh, man. Oh, God. Everything was a disaster right there for Kentucky. Jumped in. Sometimes you get an offensive foul. Sometimes defensive foul. That time, turnover. That's a big takeaway for UNLV and maybe a bigger takeaway for Kentucky right there. And that is what UNLV's done such a good job of to other teams, of coming up with that key stop, block, steal, whatever. They get a little lucky on the defensive end, but then they throw it away immediately. Has to drive inside. Mid-range is up and good. 26-18. Another dangerous pass, another dangerous pass. A couple of times Kentucky's gotten their hands on the ball, their paws on the ball because of Cats. But they're not able to come up with it. That plagued them in the Louisville game. They were able to overcome it, and in that game they were down big too. UNLV, is that going to be, that is, I believe, a defensive foul. That is one of the toughest calls to make in this game from our angle, and I don't think it actually gets any easier because one of the first tournaments I had it behind the back, like you would play the game probably, and it's even harder because there's just so much clutter going on there, and because it's going through the backboard, it's out of bounds, defensive foul, hard to know. 2 quick passes inside. Kentucky has been so good at putting them out of position. They come away with 3 shots. UNLV finally gets a block and the loose ball. And it'll swing 26-20. There's a big 3 for UNLV. Left it short. I like the pull, though. Had a good look at the basket. The defender was late getting there. There's another good block for UNLV. They need to turn these into points on the other end, though. Off the glass, no good. Again, still kind of like that pull. Just try to get something to drop. Kentucky looked like they were going for the 3-point basket. It looked a little cluttered. The camera went it went over just a touch. You could kind of see that the screen was set a little bit too high. And that meant that the defender was very easily in the area and able to rotate and cleanly get a block. There's another block inside. There's another block inside. That one's actually out of bounds. I apologize. So 26-20. UNLV has not turned the ball over a ton in the backcourt, but it is a thing where you look at it and you go, man, if this were Louisville, you feel like it'd be way, way up. That's a beautiful play inside. And that's what you want to see. You want to see teams break that backcourt defense. Once they get it to the midcourt line, put the other team in a chase position and try to get into the paint. You have the numbers once you break their defense. 2 quick passes inside. Good little run for Louisville, but they need, or for UNLV, excuse me. And they just need a couple more of these baskets to fall. They've had a couple good pulls. I don't know if I love that last one. And that's what Kentucky's been good at. Putting UNLV defenders out of position. Easy jams home. They're going to try and go up the floor. That is a bad turnover. Kentucky gets a points at the buzzer, so the errant pass really does come back to bite UNLV in the butt. However, we have seen them down before. High off the glass, no good. We've just seen that so frequently from UNLV. They're trying to get to what they want to run. They try and get something going inside. There's a block. That's a big play. I'd like to see them run it a little bit more, but I think Kentucky had that pretty well filled. 2 quick passes inside. Nice block, Kentucky. And they come up with that loose ball. 30-22 here. As I have a score notification. Presented by MLB The Show 25, available now. I've owned that for 2 weeks. Athletics Mariners starting in 15 minutes. Hey, thanks. Really excited to watch that. Stream actually ran really well the other day when I did watch the game. A little bit of a stalemate here as teams missing a lot of baskets to start the second half. That last little 2-point bucket for Kentucky is huge. It's such a weird errant pass because there's just no reason for them to throw it that far. There's no one there. 12 points for the center. Okay, there you go. Push it up the floor. You had an open guy on the right side there. Bang, bang. Foul, no shot. Or no basket, I should say. Actually, that means that the basket wouldn't have counted. The basket is no good. UNLV almost got 3 the wacky way, but they can't come up with it. You got to just try and match what they're doing. See if you can do what you did against Arizona. That's helpful. Aaron's pass goes in favor of UNLV as they step on the baseline there. Bounce pass inside, flipped up good, and the foul. What a replay. Second personal foul. We'll see if Kentucky wants to make a substitution. Free throw's no good. The putback is no good. They're going to the free throw line again. Kentucky pretty blessed that they got a different player on that foul because the center was already at 2 and they didn't get to make the substitution, so UNLV's got to be better at making the free throws. They were 2 for 4. Kentucky doesn't take a timeout. Keep that in mind. I guess you probably get to 3 in the second half before you make a change. 2 in the first half, 3 in the second. They had 2 opportunities to do what Louisville did in that last game where they missed 2 free throws but still came up with the points at the end of the day. Not a great sequence for UNLV, but it's another timely block. They have to match what Kentucky's doing. Technically, they did get 2 points. They just took a hell of a lot of effort to get those 2 points. like that they were able to get out of that animation. Set the screen drive. Kentucky with a block, but a nice job by UNLV to come up with a loose ball. Third personal foul on the center. UNLV needs to tighten their free throws up. That is another missed free throw, and it's on. I'm going to lose my mind. They should be down in this game 1 possession. They've missed 3 of their last 6 free throws, and each miss has resulted in an offensive rebound that they can't put in the basket. They are fouled yet again. They will go to the line to shoot 2. And UNLV is making Kentucky die death of a million paper cuts. 1 point here, 1 point there. Finally, 2 for 2 from the line. 32-29 with 6:41 to go in our final game of the tournament. There's UNLV. There's a nice job there. You can see the defense took a step back there and let the ball come in and then went to press. Whereas at times it's looked like they've tried to make sure that they are beating the ball where it is, and then the offense is able to get behind them. There's a kick. 3 for Kentucky. No good. Rebound UNLV. They have had so much trouble on the interior. It's a really big credit to the Kentucky Wildcats. The 3 is no good. They've given up a lot of offensive rebounds, but it has not bit them in the behind yet. Still kind of doesn't bite them in the behind because that basket's missed. It's yet another foul, which is kind of wild. But UNLV is having such a hard time just making baskets in general that they're not even getting opportunities for 3-point plays. And they've been so bad from the free throw line that you wonder if they'd even be able to capitalize if they had the opportunity. 1 for 2 from the line yet again. That makes them 5 for 9 in this little sequence here. Great rotation by UNLV. They come away with a loose ball. Speed. Trying to slice and dice their way through, and a jam home finally ties the game. That's a stretch. They're on a 10-0 scoring run, and it very easily could be more. They have had 3 offensive rebounds off of missed free throws that should have been put back for points, at least twice. We have a tie game, a backcourt violation, and UNLV feeling good. This is what they did to Arizona. I mean, like, just key blocks at times. They come up with offensive rebounds, nice loose ball recovery there. Kentucky has continued to just have that problem. It does feel like they're doing a better job forcing misses in block shots. Oof, speaking of block shots, that was a really bad 3. Good rotation by the defense there, 32 all. Off the glass and good. UNLV working their way through this pesky defense. That's a huge basket. But that's what you love to see. UNLV pushing the pace. They get through that defense. And once they get it to the other side of the floor, they push the pace to the basket. Bounce pass inside. Looking for some help. Finds a... Oh, tipped. UNLV should be an easy 2. They get it. It should be an easy 2 for UNLV, but they have been not great. 36-34. 4-0 run for the Runnin' Rebels. Under 4 to go. Defensive foul. Okay. Sends Kentucky to the line for 2. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good. 36 all. there. UNLV can't be doing something dumb like that. We saw that a lot with Kentucky. 3 wide open, no good. Tip in, no good, and rebounded Kentucky. That's a nice block on the inside. UNLV out, trying to run. 2 quick passes, fouled again. So UNLV should be in the bonus at this point. They've had so many opportunities from the line, and that does put them in the bonus. So any other foul would automatically put them at the line. UNLV, it's 3:14 to go here. Gotta tighten the free throws. They miss another free throw. Their free throws are barely over 50% at this point in the second half. They must be 6 for 11? And I don't know how you let that happen. I don't know how you let that happen in Kentucky. I don't know how you let that be a missed shot. That is a huge break for the UNLV defense. Almost ran to the baseline. How is that the shot that they make? Just a funky little, like, out and up and through. Pump fakes. Spins. Foul on the shot. Second team foul for UNLV. So they've done a very nice job keeping them off the free throw line. 2:30 to go here in the second half. Second free throw is missed, so Kentucky gives UNLV a little bit of a break there. Well, maybe a little taste of their own ineptitude? I don't know. 1 for 2 from the line is not what you're looking for. Bounce pass inside, flipped up, no good. Looked like it might have been blocked by Kentucky. UNLV does a very good job to fill the lanes, but it's a little messy on the defensive side as they try to get set. They at least don't give up the easy 2. Spin move, got the shot. I think we saw one in this game on the other side, on the same side of the floor, but the roles reversed. It just looked like it was going to be an easy block. 22 does a good job. I like that idea. Try to push, see if you can get some space, create a shot, kick out when you don't have the opportunity. 2 quick passes inside, flipped up, no good. UNLV has been so bad from the floor. They're lucky, and it's their free throw shooting that's got them in and got them into this mess, but also kept them in this mess, if that makes sense. It's the positive and the negative of gotten them into this mess. They've been able to make 6 free throws. That tied the game. They've missed 5, which means they don't have a lead to work with. Oof, that was going to be a deep 3. Bad time for a turnover. We're going the other way. UNLV does a very good job defensively to slow things down a little bit. Bounce pass inside through a couple of defenders. Splashes home the 2. 41-39. We have under a minute, I believe. Or we're actually right at a minute in our championship game. UNLV has to have points here, and they can't have a backcourt violation. This is a genuine comment. This is not me being annoyed. I don't understand how that was a backcourt violation, and we've seen teams pass the ball back. The 3 is up. It's no good. The tip-in rattles home, and that should do it for Kentucky. UNLV has done such a tremendous job throughout this tournament of being able to chip away at these leads. They have been so bad from the floor. I feel like it's difficult to describe how awful they have looked, especially on the interior. Kentucky with a little bit of pressure. There's a 3. That can't go, and that should just about do it. They will foul. We're not out of the woods. They're not out of the woods yet. Or they're not done yet. But this game just kind of, once we get to this point, it does feel like this game just doesn't work the way it should. So they will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. We'll take a timeout, but it should just about be done. We'll take a look at the stats. I'm assuming UNLV shot very poorly. We saw Kentucky hold Louisville to 20%, 3 for 15 from the floor in the second half of the Final Four. I don't think it was quite that bad. I had like 3 for 15, but I wouldn't be surprised if the percentage was pretty abysmal. And that will do it. Kentucky, congratulations! You are the champions of March Mascot Madness number 5. You broke Louisville, thank God. And you take out UNLV to win it. A hell of a run from UNLV. Congratulations to everybody who participated, myself included, yourselves included. 45-39 your final. We will submit it. Kentucky is the winner. Bam. I don't know if there's anything else I need to do. I don't think it really matters, honestly. It's kind of, there's a button hidden. Oh, God. Whatever. All right. Well, there you go. Kentucky is your champion. 45-39, your final. Louisville was fun, UNLV was fun to watch. They did a really nice job throughout this tournament. They won tight games, but they just couldn't get what they needed here at the end of the tournament. They couldn't get it done. We'll take a look at Stats Central just really quickly because I think that second half was pretty abysmal. 17-15, technically UNLV won the half, though they lost the game. 5 for 20, that about checks out. That was kind of what I was trying to say was it wasn't going to be 3 for 15 bad, but it was still going to be 3 for 15 bad. 5 for 20 is 3 for 15 bad. There's just more makes and misses. 25% from the floor is awful, especially if you take into account the fact that they do have 7 offensive rebounds. They just couldn't get any of the putbacks. They were 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. Kentucky was 0 for 2, so it wasn't great either way. The free throws is what absolutely killed them. 7 for 13, and then you take into account how many of those had offensive rebounds tied to them that were not put in for points. I think there were at least 3 where you could erase some of that number, where it's not a 6-point swing, it's a 4-point swing, or even a 2-point swing. But not great. Kentucky goes 5 for 6 from the line. 5 for 20. Not a ton of turnovers for UNLV. They do. Kentucky had a few more fouls, 7 each. Kentucky actually didn't get fouled a ton until the very end of the half. Let's see. It was what? 22. It was 30-22. They were 2 for 5. They were 4 for 5 for free throws. I mean, you'll take a look at it. 7 for 13. They lose by 6. That's the difference. I mean, that is your difference. And that's the difference in one of the, obviously not everything goes the same way, blah, blah, blah. But even if you make a couple of those, it changes the complexion of the rest of the game, especially down there at the end where, are you down by 2? Are you down by just 1? Like, what is it? Let's take a look at Kentucky, and we'll give them a look. Kentucky is your champion. Congratulations, and thank you all so very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe right over here. Ring the bell down below. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of it. You can give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. All that good stuff. Congratulations again to the Kentucky Wildcats for winning. Congratulations to Let's Go, who won the bracket challenge before this video even started. They were in first place. They win with 36 points. I was in second with 34. Beeb was in third with 32, so very close. That's a Sweet 16 victory away from swinging that one person's direction. And then Baylor, unfortunately, they got eliminated pretty early because Baylor lost in the first round. So 22 was their final. If you would like to fill out a bracket, you'll be able to do so next year, as I will be doing this again. Keep an eye on youtube.com/SeannosaurusRex. I'll post on Instagram.com/VideosaurusRex, or even my own personal one if you want to follow that. I will do a bigger ramp up to March Mascot Madness in 2026, and we'll be doing more fun throughout the month of March. I can tentatively give you some dates here if you want to hang out for 1 second while I look. March, it might be 1st, 2nd. I don't know exactly how the schedule will shake out, but I assume Taste Test will still be on Saturday, so it'll probably be a Sunday, Monday, maybe a Sunday, Tuesday, who knows. But we'll get a big run up to it before the tournament starts, and we'll have plenty of time to fill out a bracket and do all that stuff. Again, thank you so much for watching. I love doing this. It's a lot of fun. It's a long time. It's 9 parts. It's 32 hours. It's 64 games. And I appreciate the support. So again, subscribe over here where the gameplay is if you enjoyed it. You can ring the bell for notifications. March Mascot or Mascot Madness in general, kind of updating right here. Baseball in the evenings, Mariners take it on the Oakland Athletics. And will my nightmare finally end? Yes, because it's the end of a 4-game set. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next year for March Mascot Madness 6. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.